Namaste, this is Samta Auntie. In this video, we're going to review the words that we practiced in class, how to say fork and spoon in Hindi. A fork is a kanta. Say it with me, kanta. And a spoon is a chammach, chammach. Let's do those again. Fork, kanta. Spoon, chammach. One more time. Fork, kanta, spoon, chammach. Now let's do some practice problems. If you were going to eat garam garam dal, would you use a kanta or a chammach? Chammach, right? You'd use a spoon. What about if you were eating cereal? Would you use a kanta or a chammach? Well, we use a spoon, right? So, chammach. What about for yogurt? Would you use a kanta or a chammach? You'd use a spoon, right? So you'd use a chammach. And what about for your ice cream? Would you use a kanta or a chammach? You'd use a spoon, right? So a chammach. What about for your more ice cream? Would you use a kanta or a chammach? Chammach, a spoon. What about for your salad? If you were eating salad, would you use a kanta or a chammach? Probably a kanta, right? And what about if you were eating mango slices? Look, there's even a fork in here. What's a fork in Hindi? Kanta. And what about if you were eating pasta? Would you use a kanta or a chammach? Kanta. And what about for cake? Would you use kanta or chammach? Well, this is a tricky one because you could use either one. So we could use kanta or chammach. And the way we say that in Hindi is kanta ya chammach. Kanta ya chammach. What about for broccoli pieces? If you're eating pieces of broccoli, would you use a kanta or a chammach? Probably a kanta. And what's this word again? How do we say spoon in Hindi? Chammach. And how do we say I want a spoon? What was the phrase that we learned? Mujhe chammach chahiye. Mujhe chammach chahiye. Try it again. Mujhe chammach chahiye. What about if you want a fork? मुझे कांटा चाहिए. मुझे कांटा चाहिए. मुझे कांटा चाहिए. Let's review these words again. What is a fork in Hindi? Kanta. And what is a spoon in Hindi? Chammach. One more time. What is a fork? Kanta. Spoon? Chammach. Great work. Now you know 2 more very useful words in Hindi. And I want you to practice using them at home every day. Dhanyavad for joining me. I'll see you in class.